Howdy, all you cultists out there. This is DML, and I am here with another video. I'm going to try to make this one short. I try with all my videos, but I fail miserably. Today, I'm going to keep this short because I want to have a lot more shorter videos and touch on a lot more topics more frequently than I have been, rather than the long videos that I have with a long period of time between them. So, with that in mind, I'm going to shut up now and get into today's topic, which is my next campaign. So my next campaign is going to be more horror based, and what better model for horror than H.P. Lovecraft? So that's why I have here on my screen my campaign planner, and I've been sitting here just doing some brainstorming, trying to figure out what I want to include in my campaign. And one thing that I learned from one of the many seminars I had to go to for work is that whenever you start a project, you always want to start with the end in mind. So one thing I wanted to have for my next campaign was, since it's going to be horror based, and since it was going to be inspired largely by the works of H.P. Lovecraft, I wanted to have Cthulhu in my campaign. So yes, Cthulhu is going to be making an appearance in my campaign. Now, whether they actually fight Cthulhu or not, that is probably not going to happen because they would be slaughtered. But I do want to feature Cthulhu as the main villain, hidden, of course, by myth and legends and a bunch of different names that his cultists refer him by, something like that. And I wanted Cthulhu to be kind of the reveal at the end of the campaign. So here's my campaign planner. Yeah, it's going to be like that. And I don't have a whole lot of notes here. I wanted to keep this fairly high level because usually when I go into too much detail, I end up not using a whole lot of it. So just wanted to capture the main bullet points and just kind of build my campaign around that. So starting with the end in mind, the final chapter of the campaign is going to be the PCs trying to put Cthulhu back to sleep. So the model for this campaign that actually inspired me is the shadow known as the Dreams of the Dead God, in which a dead god, an ancient evil entity, begins to stir, and his dreams begin to affect reality and start to alter the world. And so I thought this would be a great campaign to start getting some H.P. Lovecraft incorporated into it. And, what better way than to start with Cthulhu? So Cthulhu is also known as the Great Dreamer, I think. Plus, this kind of builds on an adventure that I already have been working on that utilizes a sleeping entity as its main behind-the-scenes villain. And so Cthulhu fits that pretty perfectly. But again, Cthulhu is a great old one, and I don't really anticipate the PCs trying to fight him. But the goal of this campaign is not going to be to fight the villain at the end. It's going to be to try to prevent the villain at the end from waking up completely. So what the campaign is essentially going to be is the PCs realizing that there is a great old one or an entity that is awakening and going on various quests to try to figure out how to stop him or how to put him back to sleep. And so the elements I want to include in this campaign, well, first of all, what I want to do with this campaign is make it an 11-session campaign. So going from 0 to 10th level, and I want to do 1 level per session. And my sessions are typically 3 hours on a Tuesday night. And so I wanted to make sure that I stick to that time frame. So this is going to have to be a really short, focused, each adventure is going to have to be get in there, do what you need to do, and you're done. So I kind of envision this as, how you have big, long novels, then you have little short novels, and then you have novellas. Well, this campaign is going to be more of a novella-based campaign where you've got a tightly packed story in a very short time frame to get a certain few things done, and then the next one is going to be another novella. And it could be several years later, it could be a few months later, but each one's going to be a self-contained adventure that builds towards the overarching story. And here's the other thing. I'm currently involved in a D&D campaign that my friend Brian is running, and I also have another D&D campaign that I just put on hiatus so that I could be in my friend Brian's game. And then I have a D&D campaign that I run on Saturdays once a month or so. And so I really don't have time at this point to do a full-fledged campaign like I normally do. So what I wanted to do is whenever one of my other games can't happen for whatever reason because some players can't show up or, I don't have a quorum to get a game going, a normal game going, a normal D&D game, then I want to be able to pull this out and to run a session, a very focused session on this campaign with the players that I have available. So 11 sessions, one level per session, that's the plan. Then the elements I want to include in this campaign are the following things. So as I already mentioned, I want to include a great old one, which will be Cthulhu. But the name that the old one goes by is going to be, initially, it's going to be either or both the Lady of Sighs, and I've already kind of dropped that one. I'll get to that in a minute, and He Who Slumbers Below. Both of these are actually going to be aspects of Cthulhu that are worshipped by two different cults that are going to be active in the city of Eads, which I'll get to in a minute. Then, of course, Cthulhu is going to be the actual great old one that represents both of these entities. So I'm going to have, oh, by the way, I love this picture. I've always loved it. This is Cthulhu rising out of the sea in the city of Rillier, or whatever, however you say that that word. So anyway, that's going to be my campaign flag picture. Okay, so anyway, getting back to my campaign elements. So the cults are going to be that are going to be involved in the campaign are going to be the Sisters of the Blue Hand, the Cult of the Dreaming One, which is one I made up, and then the Cult of He Who Slumbers Below. All of them are going to represent the same great old one, which is Cthulhu. All right, this is also going to be centered, or it's going to initially start in the city of Eads, which is in the Confederacy of 9 cities, and it's also known as City of Dreams, which is pretty perfect. I want to feature the Dream Merchants, which are the drug dealers of Eads. I also want to feature the Dreamlands out of the Cthulhu mythos. I don't know a whole lot about the Dreamlands, and so I am going to have to do some reading, which I'm going to get here in a moment. But I want to feature at least a quest for my adventurers to leave Earth and go to the Dreamlands, which is going to be like a hidden kingdom, and they're going to go in search of the Sandman. And the reason for that is should be pretty clear with the purpose of the campaign in mind. They're trying to put Cthulhu to sleep, and the only being that has the power to put Great Old One to sleep is the Sandman. And so they're going to have to go and get some sand from the Sandman in the Dreamlands. So that is the plan. So I'm going to have to do some research before I actually get this campaign up and running. And the research I'm going to need to do is, of course, read the stories of Call of Cthulhu again, because I've already read that one, but I have not read the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath. And so I plan on reading that one and trying to get myself up to speed on the Dreamlands. I may need to go pick up some of the Chaosium Dreamlands supplements off of DriveThruRPG, but I'm not sure about that just yet, because that's an added expense that I'm not really ready to jump at yet, but we'll see. Then, of course, the supplement Eads, City of Dreams, which I have been reading already, and it's a great supplement, which outlines the issues of that particular city, which are many. and it fits the whole concept of this campaign perfectly. I also want to utilize in some way, shape, or form Beyond the World's Edge, which is this supplement right here. And it's one of my favorite supplements that have been put out by Schwalbe Entertainment. I think it's perfect for what I intend to be a quest to once the PCs get the Sandman's sleep sand to find Cthulhu, which he's going to be out there in the greater world somewhere, and so they're going to need to do some exploring to find the lost city of Rillier before Cthulhu wakes up. And in the process of waking up, Cthulhu is going to be bringing Rillier out from the bottom of the ocean, which is where it's been for millions and billions and quadrillions of years. And so this supplement's going to help me out with that. And then, of course, I'm going to have to reread the Sandman graphic novel, Volume 1. It's just so I get a feel for the Sandman as a character, to see how I'm going to present him, if he's actually going to be a villain that they fight, or if that's just going to be a person or an entity that they have to bargain with. I think that's going to be a bargain with type scenario to kill the Sandman, because he lives in your dreams, and he's a powerful entity way beyond their means. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to be asked to quest for the Sandman's magic items that are detailed in the graphic novel. I think he has a helmet. He's got, I think he's got, I forget. Anyway, that's why I need to do research, right? So that's pretty much it. Now, I have already run the first adventure in this. So I'm cheating a little bit. I normally try to outline and plan out my campaign before I start my campaign, but we did have a break in our D&D session a couple of weeks ago, and we needed a filler game. So what I figured I already kind of had in my head ideas of what I wanted this campaign to be. So what I did was I just threw quickly together an adventure, a 0-level adventure, starting level adventure, which, those I kind of hand wave anyway. But I wanted to start to incorporate and get some background for the campaign, and to try to get some foreshadowing going. So I ran a 0-level adventure, which was set in a suburb, a farming town outside of Eads. And the players or the characters were, they're nobodies because they're 0 level. And one of the town folk went insane because the wife of the town folk has been, I haven't really decided if she is already a member of the Sisters of the Blue Hand, or if she is being, if she's being indoctrinated into that cult. But her husband found the elixir that the sisters imbibe in order to get the blue hands and blue lips, and so he went crazy, and he started to envision all of these. He started to seeing all these visions of the future, and this entity started speaking to him. And so he, kind of went crazy, and the townsfolk, which included the PCs, essentially had to go stop him. And so that was a short adventure I threw together rapidly, and it worked out really well to just kind of set the tone for this campaign. Now, I don't know when my next actual game is going to be, because again, this is going to be a filler game. So I have some time right now to kind of plan it out more, and to get all these ideas solidified, and to get an outline of the campaign going. Haven't done that yet, but I do have at least my ideas documented, high-level ideas, and my next step is going to be to write a first-level adventure, actually a first, second, and third-level adventure, and then I'll probably start outlining what the master tier adventures are going to look like. Because again, I always want to have what the end is going to look like, but those have to be, by the nature of my campaigns, they have to be very high level, because by the time I get there, things will have changed so much that I'm going to have to be flexible enough to modify the ideas that I had at that point. But the one thing that I am going to keep solid is the scene right here, which is going to happen. Cthulhu is going to be rising out of the sea. The PCs are going to be, basically boating towards him. It may be in an airship, but who knows. But they will be going towards him to confront him and to sprinkle the sleep sand on him to put him back to sleep. And of course, if they fail, then Cthulhu rises and the world ends. But we shall see if that will actually occur, or if they will save the day. So anyway, that is how my campaign is going to go. I wanted to just do a quick video highlighting that. And if you have any ideas on things I can incorporate into this campaign, feel free to put it in the comments. If you like this video, feel free to like it. That helps visibility in YouTube. And as always, I do these videos not because of being hired by Schwab Entertainment, paid the big bucks. In fact, I doubt they even know I exist. But actually to just try to have some resources out there in the internet, on YouTube in particular, that focuses on this great game that I love, Shadow of the Demon Lord. And there's not a whole lot out there. So this is my contribution to the community, and hopefully I can keep it going, get it popularized out there to get the game popularized, because that's ultimately my goal, is to get more people invested in the game. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you next time. So hail, Cultus, hail.